Yes, that is the sound I was talking about. So with that, I will also welcome everybody who is joining in from the recording, speaking to you from the past. This is the VPPR training. Thank you for joining in. So we shall have that. So three parts of this meeting, we shall have engagement with members. The first is we are going to engage on what is going on with your public relations, Canva and everything. The second part later will be highlighting of best practices. What do you comment that has been done? And finally, we shall have the question and answer session with our guest facilitator. Guest facilitator is DTM Abhijit Roy, who is a division director in District 1, and that is in the USA. And we shall follow through as that agenda states. Once again, the agenda is in the chat room. Now, Toastmasters and guests, I will play the role of the host, and later on when Toastmaster Carol Mosiani joins in, I will hand over that to her. So I am once again going to, I know we are Toastmasters, so we are highly disciplined. So I'm going to request everybody to unmute themselves rather. And we are going to have a discussion of, the reason you unmute is such that you easily speak, because the next 10 minutes are for us to speak to each other. What do you feel is the state of public relations in your club and in the district? How far are we? What are the issues you are facing? Anything that you might want to address for the next 10 minutes. And the floor is very open. It's a table topic, 1 to 2 minutes. So that means we should have at least 10 people speaking, or 5 rather. Any volunteers for the topic?
Yes, Baron, I think let me volunteer to go first.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you hear any echo, that's my daughter trying to copy me.
Yes, please.
I think in terms of the state of the VPPR role at Kampala Sunrise in Uganda, it's hard to measure. Let me just start by doing that. When I look at other clubs, that's what I try to compare with. I still feel we are lagging behind, simply because I feel that we focus a lot on one media. We focus a lot on WhatsApp, on the WhatsApp groups and flyers. Now, the previous VPPR of Kampala Sunrise, who became the IPP, that's Alex Agava, was very good at having multiple forms of, I'd say, marketing our meetings. And so there was video content, there was flyer content, it was on Facebook, it was also on Twitter. But currently we've struggled to have all this content on the different media. And then secondly, in an attempt to be creative, there's always issues around maybe going overboard or maybe going outside the brand manual. So sometimes that is something that having a publicity group helps keep us in check. We have assistance from members who are in other clubs who have a better grasp of the manual, who are able to assist and guide and correct any of the posters that are going out. Then in terms of Canva, we majorly use the Canva designs, the templates. So in terms of originality, we've never really come up with really original designs. So this is a very timely training to see how we can utilize Canva to come up with unique designs as well as video content. I submit.
Just sharing on WhatsApp, because on WhatsApp is already, I mean, the ones we share to are already Toastmasters. They've already joined. They have already been sold on what Toastmasters does. So we want to reach out to others outside Toastmasters. Thank you for pointing that out. To anybody who is joining in right now, we are going through an engagement of what is the state of public relations in your club or in your area or in your division, or generally, what do you think? What is going on? What is your self-assessment of it? And with that, we have all microphones off so that anybody can jump in and say something. Master Jen, would you like to say something?
Well, I'm not a VPPR yet. Yes. So let me hear more. Then maybe from there I can catch up something and say.
All right,
perfect.
You. Thank you so much. We have a couple of area directors in the house. Please allow me to hijack you for a minute with a table topic, and that's to my area director at Toastmaster Anne Maria. Are you able to speak? Could you speak into what do you think the state of public relations is in your area as far as the clubs go and the area?
This is indeed a hijack. I had come to listen and learn without saying a thing. I think I am almost tempted to be politically correct since the person asking is the VPPR for the area, the public relations for the area. I believe there are clubs in the area that I feel are doing well, but like has been said before, I feel we push particular platforms the most. So I think Luboa does really well with public relations and getting the word out there, and it's evident in the meetings, while there are other clubs that in the area that are yet to get onto any social media platform. And I know one of the challenges for most of the people that come on to take the role is the fact that they don't know what is expected of them. They can't design to save their lives, and so they feel because they can't design, they may not be able to do the role well. So this training definitely helps with that. But it would also be interesting to hear what other clubs are doing to get the word out there that may not necessarily tie into a flyer, because I feel that has become the one way we publicize. And of course, like I've heard and I have seen, Kampala Sunrise has tried a number of other things. So I think the reason I'm here is to learn and be able to support the people I am able to lead, I am leading, to be able to spread their wings and fly in this thing called public relations. Thank you, Baron. Back to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I've gathered a lot from you because you have the area perspective. And one of the things there is the same thing that Kevin really highlighted. And I will touch on that. In studying public relations, some of the things I have learned, one of the things I've learned is there are types of publics. There are internal publics, and that is the people who are already sold on the idea. For example, if you had a company, those are the employees. They're already part of the company. And those ones you would communicate to them with a memo, for example. Then we have the external publics, and that could be, first off, even shareholders are internal publics. External publics could be the suppliers, could be the customers. Those are the publics that are dealing with the company. They know that they're in business with the company. And then we have non-publics. Those are people who have no idea about your company. For example, you have people who have no idea about what Toastmasters is. So the same way you're going to explain, the way you're going to explain to somebody who is a Toastmaster about a meeting that is happening is going to be different, because the question for somebody who is not in Toastmasters will be, what is it about? That's a different conversation. And then there is also the non-active. Those are the ones who know about our brand, who know about Toastmasters, for example, but do not do anything about that information. And we have to reach out all of them, and not all of them, in fact, most of them are not in our WhatsApp groups. That's something to realize. So we need to not get out of WhatsApp, but push beyond WhatsApp. There's Twitter, Threads, Instagram, LinkedIn, especially for professionalism, can have a website. There's YouTube. I've seen Kampala Sunrise using TikTok, and they've got many members from that. So that is something to speak into. Could we have one last person share their experience? After the PRM's address, we are going to have a session where we talk about the best practices. What campaigns have we seen happening, or what can we do differently? So the floor is open for a 1-minute table topic once again. All right. Oh, yes, I see a hand up. Toastmaster Margaret Njoroge, over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Baron. Just wanted to highlight something that I've noted from a division perspective in terms of publicizing the club meetings. I have noted that in most cases, the VPPR is waiting on the Toastmaster of the day. And for some clubs, this role is not always the first role to be filled. And it invariably delays the publicity of a meeting through the meeting flyer. And one of the things or the ideas that I would like for us to consider, what if we were to have almost a generic flyer that highlights what Toastmasters is about, and it has the basic information required for a meeting, and that can be used to target the non-Toastmasters. Then as we get our act together internally and sort out the issues on the Toastmaster of the day and the meeting theme, then we can already be publicizing the upcoming meeting. I've found that a number of people visit our clubs because they saw it on social media, on somebody's status on WhatsApp or on LinkedIn. But if we were to get away from that pressure of we must have a TMOD before the flyer goes out, what if it just goes out with basic information on what you stand to gain as a Toastmaster? We may be able to get some mileage in publicizing Toastmasters globally. Back to you, Toastmaster Baron.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Margaret Njoroge. I spent the second there rushing to finish my notes because there were a lot of good points shared there. And that is true. We could actually have posters that highlight all the dates of our meetings for the rest of the Toastmasters, yeah? Because we know that information, but people who do not know Toastmasters do not know, and yet they can plan around it and come to our meetings. Having a generic poster and realizing that there are very many selling points. I'm sorry, let me speak to it as well. There are many selling points. Some people will come for the meeting agenda, the meeting theme rather. Others will come for the Toastmaster of the day. Others will come because it's a Toastmasters meeting and they don't really know the Toastmaster of the day as well. So how can we tap into all of that without that delay? Because we always say, but I'm waiting. And that's a very good point to highlight. At this point, later on, we are going to have a session about 10-15 minutes more of what the best practices we can adopt are. And I would consider the points that we have got so far a very big head start for us towards that. At this point, I would like to welcome our PRM Toastmaster, Terence Were, to share with us which direction he thinks we should go in as the public relations officers and anybody else who is involved in publicizing what we are doing with Toastmasters as District 114. Over to you, Toastmaster Terence.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Baron Ochola. A round of applause for Baron for leading this first segment of the meeting. Yes, my name is Terence Were, and I come from Early Birds Toastmasters Club. You may have noticed this is not my usual timing. So as Toastmasters, we are encouraged to wear many hats, and I'm glad I'm wearing this hat at this moment. Now, ever since I took over the PR docket, I believe I learn every day. If you find yourself in a position where you're learning every day, then it's a really good position to be in. I'm also a biker, and in one of the videos I watched recently, we were being reminded how when we become more experienced, that is when we are prone to make mistakes. That's when we are prone to make assumptions, and we end up getting into accidents. It is in the same breath that we also consider ourselves, maybe we consider ourselves experienced. Maybe you've been a VPPR for the longest time. You've been a VPPR since inception of your club, or you have been a VPPR since the beginning of the year. And now, because you're so experienced, there are things you may overlook. Together with Baron and Carol, we saw it fit to have these sessions. We have them once every month on the last Monday of the month. So this is on the 29th. Last month it was on the 29th. This month is on the 26th, and so on and so forth. The purpose of this is to help us just to sit together as PR managers, share ideas, share our concerns, and share experiences, even as we learn from the trainer of the day. Just like that experienced rider, you want to always get home. And that's why such forums are really important. And I thank the team led by Baron and Carol for helping put this together. I also want to extend my gratitude to our speaker of the day, or our trainer of the day, Roy, DTM from District 1. And this, as I said, this session gives us all an opportunity to learn from one another. So just like you, I'm also here to learn and to be challenged and to grow more, because just like that rider who gets more experienced, we are challenged to move to the next level. If you're so good at, you're now so good at Canva, can you challenge yourself to move to other platforms and improve on that level of public relations? Are you so good at Canva that you can now even get to other publics, as the Toastmaster of the day said? Can you reach out to media houses? Can you engage with other platforms? And one of the things I also noticed, another thing I also noticed, and I believe we will possibly learn from for today, is about measuring our performance. I was recently in a meeting where we were discussing the performance of our campaign that we launched. When it came to WhatsApp, the only way we could measure was looking at the specific post and looking at how many people have opened it. But then again, there are other metrics that you can use for WhatsApp and other platforms. But that just goes to tell you that, yes, WhatsApp has a large reach, but measuring may not be as easy as the rest. I did the same for other posts on other social media, and I realized that there's a lot that we need to do to stretch ourselves and to challenge ourselves to be even better. I would like to first, even as I continue, I'd like to recognize the presence of our some of our division directors. We had my division director from Division C, Margaret Jeroge, DTM. We also had from Division, is it Division F? Is it still around? Wilson Asimwe. And I thank you for taking this up and joining us at this moment. Because as Toastmasters, as I said, we wear many hats. There are moments that force you to become or to play the PRM role or the public relations role. And I thank the two of them because unlike the other divisions, they've had no PR managers for the longest time. But when you look at their activities, all was going on well. And I believe even as a fellow PRM, you must commend them for the work that they've done together with the teams that they've formed around that. So congratulations to all of you. That is the Division C, Division F, even as we continue this meeting. Without further ado, I'd like to open the forum. If there are any questions that you'd like to direct to myself before I hand over back to our Sergeant at Arms and our co-facilitator, that is Baron Ochola.
It looks like we've taken active listening to the next level.
Thank you. I will ask my questions at the end of the session. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Baron.
Thank you so much for the clarion call for us to recognize that it goes beyond WhatsApp. It really goes beyond WhatsApp. We are locking ourselves up in that space. It feels good because everybody's there. We get the adrenalines of, oh, my people are around. But I think we are locking ourselves in that space and not realizing that while Toastmasters makes 100 years, we continue to be what people call the best kept secret, which I don't think is a fair thing, right? Which is not fair because so many people could benefit from it. So many strategies. We focus on, perhaps let me put it differently. Toastmasters focuses on, oh, wow. Oh, yes. Oh, wow. Thank God. I thought I had fallen off. Toastmasters focuses on 3 things. We have communication, we have leadership, and we have networking. Now, as far as leadership, we take on leadership roles and we learn a lot from it. And we play these roles for a whole year, for 2 years. To achieve our DTMs, we play so many of the leadership roles. Then next, we have communication. We deliver speeches at every meeting. So we are very good on that part. We get feedback. What are we intentionally doing about networking other than once in a while inviting a friend to a Toastmasters meeting? Because us creating a campaign, for example, on one of the social media platforms, and saying Toastmasters, this is happening, this Toastmasters, and then we also go viral for not for once, I know we have done before, but then we go viral. That is networking as well, because we are going to bring people who are valuable in skills, in knowledge, in insight, people we shall learn from, as well as people whom we shall teach, as well as people who become great networks to us. So it's not just one-on-one that we network. I do not want to say too much more than I've already said. And I know I've said a very good bit. So I'm not worried about that. Today with us is our co-host, actually I'm the Sergeant at Arms, and that's Toastmaster Carol Mosiani from Flamingo Toastmasters. She's part of the team put together the VPPR training, and she's going to be our Toastmaster of the day from now going forward. So I will hand over to her to take the mantle. But while she does, can we just put our virtual hands together for everybody who has engaged so far, for everybody who has unmuted, everybody who has joined in, everybody who is listening in intently with their pens and papers. Thank you so much. Kudos for that. Toastmaster Carol, are you ready? Yes, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Baron. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Terence, for this opportunity. And thank you so much for everyone who's attended. And it would be nice if we could rename ourselves on our profile so that we can know who's in the room and we can be able to engage more and more. Thank you for those who've renamed themselves. So Toastmaster Baron, I would like to just check in with you whether we get straight to the speaker or do we start with the best practices? Toastmaster Baron?
Sorry, unmuted finally. I would say with the time factor, we could get to our facilitator session and then we can have a best practices discussion in the end after the question and answer.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much for your guidance. So once again, thank you very much for joining us for this session. And the facilitator for today is a very interesting speaker today. And I will just go ahead and give his profile before I welcome him into the room to deliver his speech on the theme of Canva Essentials and TMI Brand Compliance. And so he is DTM Roy Abhijit. Oh my goodness, I think he'll let us know how he pronounces his second name. And he's the division director. He's been a division director between 2023 to 2024 in District 03, USA. He's also been the area director in 2022-2023 in District 03 in the US of A. Two times distinguished extensive experience in various leadership roles within Toastmasters. He's been recognized for training individuals for VP Public Relations role. And he's had extensive experience as well in Canva and in creating the brand compliant Toastmasters flyers. He's also had he also is involved in preparations of Canva and is quite an expert from the profile that we see of him. And so today we do not have somebody who is not just training us, but who is greatly experienced. And he does have roles in the graphics field, and he's trained the VPPR role. He's been recognized by district for the preparation of brand compliant flyers and has a basic know-how of Canva, of how to prepare brand compliant Toastmasters flyers. And so if you're in the room and you'd like to know much more about Canva, this is one great opportunity for you to be able to learn. And also, he's also been a club member and a club sponsor as well, and has served all 7 club officers in District 79, 98, 41, 124, and now 03. This is an amazing profile and quite a distinguished and experienced Toastmaster that we have today. And so please welcome me in welcoming our Toastmaster Roy, who's our speaker for the day, and we can have around a clap emoji on the chat to welcome him on board. So Toastmaster Roy, over to you for us to learn. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Carol and the entire PR team of District 114 for having me as part of one of the training facilitators for Canva Essentials and TMI brand compliance. Well, as we all know, and that is exactly what Toastmaster Baron was explaining, that as part of the public relations, it is all about branding. It's all about selling and making sure that you are the face of someone, or something that you do. Similarly, let me first please tell what I have been doing. Toastmaster Carol introduced me with my presence, my support, and my role in a few districts that I just mentioned. But what I really failed in is that coming as a trainer in District 114 and not really saying that I have not actively participated is going to be a hoax. It's going to be fake. Yes, my friends, you got it right. I didn't mention 114 intentionally, but I kept wanted to keep the floor open for everyone to identify as to what role did I play. And my participation, my role as a family member of District 114 only came as the first time that I took up the role of a club sponsor for a club in Kenya. And that's exactly how my interest, my overall intervention with District 114 members increased. And today I sit or rather stand or whatever, do without you to present myself as a facilitator, not a trainer. And that is exactly what I was telling Baron about it. That Baron, as the clock is ticking, I'm getting even more nervous because I don't know. There might be some of the individuals or members coming and attending this training who might be pros and not be a free version like me. As we say in Canva, there are free versions, there are the pro versions. So there are people who are pros in this room. I'm just a free version. So you can use me to a limited edition. Well, these are some terms which I will be talking about when I run through some of the important things that we can do in Canva. But most importantly, as members and as individuals who are going to dedicate the next 30 odd minutes to go through my presentation, to go through what I want to share, is this. If you look at this, there's a message for all of us. Relax, present confidently. So when you are actually working on a tool like Canva, which I will be telling what exactly Canva means, a lot of people may already know what Canva is. But what importantly that we all should need to understand is that before preparing, before presenting, or before showcasing something, you all need to relax. Just calm down, be composed enough, be confident, relax, and then present yourself confidently. This should be the prime mantra or the purpose of every individual in this room in order to make an effective flyer or a poster or a brand compliant picture. Now, why do I also mention brand compliant? Is all because we are all our Toastmasters. In Toastmasters, we know there are some of the aspects of it which needs to be compliant in order to be brand conscious. But let me take that a little aloof from the start. At the very start, I would like to have 3 or 4 important things which I would be stating in order to make sure that we all understand what are we exactly going to hear from the trainer today, right? I would request the host to please give the co-host right so that I can just go through some of the important slides. It won't be a slide presentation, just requesting the host if I can, Toastmaster Baron, if you can give me the co-host rights as well. All right, okay. If you all can see, this is the first page, and what I am intending to do here is things that we would all learn today. The most important element is the introduction to Canva. Why Canva? The applications of Canva, features of Canva, and then a tag team, which is Canva and Toastmasters. How Canva and Toastmasters is a perfect combination to present a brand compliant poster while we are all here. So let us go through as to what Canva is all about. Canva is basically a design tool or an app or a website where we all can get into, prepare any kind of flyers or posters or greeting cards or even resumes, whatever you wish to prepare, because this is basically a design tool. You need to design something, you need to present yourself, and for that we have a website or an application called Canva. Where do we have to go? It's very simple. Sit in front of your laptop, open your web browser, just write www.canva.com. It is that easy. Remember, what is the web link? www.canva.com. And you get into Canva very easily. Now, I will also be showing you something which will actually help you to understand what Canva is all about. Now, introduction to Canva. Things that we can all create on Canva is social media posts. You want to create something on Instagram, you have Facebook, you have LinkedIn, you have WhatsApp, anything that you need to prepare. It's a design tool, my friends, and so that any design that you want to create, you can have social media posts. You can prepare presentations. When you're part of a corporate setup and need to prepare PowerPoint presentation is one such example, but that's a registered Microsoft tool. But in ahead of that, if you want to have more fashionable presentation created, Canva is an option. You have book covers. Book covers means the front page and the back page of any of the presentation or any of the important notes that you have prepared, and you want to create a cover page. So book covers can also be prepared by Canva. You have resumes. You want to make sure that you present yourself in a very, very articulative manner. You can prepare your resumes through the way of Canva. It's just not limited to Microsoft Word, but resumes is also something that you can prepare on Canva. Customized logos, greeting cards, many more. The list is never ending. You have as many things that you want to prepare, you can prepare on Canva itself. Now, importantly for all of us to understand whether Canva is free or not, let me tell you, Canva comes in three forms. It's free, it has a pro version, and it also has something which is called as themes that I'll help you run through and understand where can you find this. Applications of Canva, this is something which I'll come later, but out of the introduction, let me do something which you can all see and understand of how you can get it done. Let me help you to share the screen. And this is exactly what I would be doing. Hold on a second. Yes, okay, all right. So I would request the host to please confirm me if they can see the screen, beautiful screen, which is called as Canva, the home page. So if you really look into this, you will see what you will see here. I've just put the click on the web browser address link and it shows canva.com. As I said, to really log into Canva, it's that simple. Just write www.canva.com. And this is exactly the home page that might come across. For everyone to understand, for Canva, you can just design anything, but most importantly, you need to have a login to have all your templates that you prepare to be saved at one position. So if you see here on the top right, before you have a cross here, create a design is something that you can see, but beside that, you have something called as an AR. That's my initials. Those are my initials. If I click on this, if I go down, you see an option of sign out. So what I have exactly done is I've created a login account, which is absolutely free. Now, if you want it to be a paid version, you can always done that. If you look in the main page, you have different like design spotlights, business, education, planning and pricing, and learn. So the moment you click on planning and pricing, what you see here is 3 options. One is the free option, one is the pro option, and one is the teams option. For free, you can see for anyone to design anything on their own or with family, friends, or others. No experience is required. For individuals wanting unlimited access to premium content and design tools, that is the pro version for you. And for teams, which is for brand compliance and for bigger sizes of things that needs to be done, you need to have teams. Pro and teams comes with a price tag attached to it. Free is free. All right, this is something that you can find in plans and pricing. But with Canva, the best thing that you can actually do is it gives individuals or users the leverage to use its features to a greater extent. If you want to make it a paid version, you can still do that. It's not that much expensive as we may think of. It's just about $5 or $10 probably a month. So it's not that expensive for any user to have a paid version, but the free version also gives you that much of leverage to do anything and everything. Now, if you look at the different types of flyers that you need to create, as I said, you can create a greeting card, you can create a presentation or a resume or any of the social media posts. So if you look at some of the things which I'll talk about, beside the Canva logo on the top left, you see there are 3 different staircase type of things, which is the menu angle. So click on the menu angle. What it comes, goes down, you see something called as templates. I click on the arrow of templates. Now what I see is there are different versions. As I go down, you have the document version, you have the whiteboard version, you have the Instagram post version, which is in the square format. You have logos, you can prepare resumes, presentations, certificates, posters, and flyers. Anything and everything that you want to prepare, you have some standard. So let's go with something which will attract you a lot. Well, the moment you attend a meeting and you are declared as the best prepared speaker or best table topic speaker, the club gives you a certificate of participation or certificate of appreciation. But I want to really make that certificate really look attractive. So what I do is click on certificates. Now, if you go down, just have a glance. Oh my goodness. I see there are so many of the certificate formats readily available here. And I like almost all of them. You will also be feeling that these are certain things, these are certain certificates which really is attractive. And I'm really honored to get something of this sort. But let me ask myself a question. Are all these certificates accessible to me to customize it having just a free version? The answer is no. And how will you get to know that any of these sample formats is free or not? Now for every, as I clicked on, I'll again help you out. I clicked on the top left, the staircase button, that is the menu button, went down to templates, clicked on templates, clicked on certificates because I want to prepare certificates. Now, if you see here, there are different formats, but at the same time, you see for every certificate on the left, on the right bottom, you see something called as a king's crown. That king's crown symbol or the logo that is attached with the certificate means that it is not free, but it is a pro version. Now, what I would like to show you is, for example, this certificate, the blue one, but it's pro, which means it's a paid version. What I do is try to see if this certificate works for me or not, because I want to customize it. I want this certificate to go out as a form of an appreciation from the club. I'll give an example, Kampala Executives. That's a club really is doing great in terms of preparation of flyers. So I want, as a VPPR, to prepare this certificate for everyone. So what I do is I click onto it. But see what happens. It's called as use this template. I click on the template, but what it comes? Upgrade. Can you all see this page, my friends? I would request a raise of hand, which shows that it mentions unlock our best templates. This is something which I can see on my screen, but I would request somebody to really confirm me if they can see that on the screen, which is being shared. All right, okay. So now if you can all see, this is showing as upgrade, which means it's a premium account. It's not free. So I will have to close it all. And I have to find something which is free and I can customize that. So what I do is I preferably see any of the certificates which does not have that so-called king's crown. I choose this. This is one certificate which shows customize this template. Now I click on this customizing of the template. Now you see this particular page opens up right away and I can get this certificate customized as per my understanding. Now, this is something which I want to gift or share on an email to one of the Toastmasters. But now I see here, there's a different logo format. In that case, what I need to do is put the Toastmasters logo. How would I end up doing is click on something called as, the moment the certificate appears, you see a list right on the top, on the leftmost side, which starts with design, elements, text, brand, uploads, draw. So Toastmasters logo is something which I need to put, which means I will have to get something from an uploaded site, from a library or something from my personal desktop or laptop. Since I have a Toastmasters logo already uploaded, what I just do is click on uploads. All right. Now you see, the moment I click on uploads, I normally get a logo of Toastmasters International celebrating its 100 years. That is already picked up from the library or from the gallery of Toastmasters International website. If I hadn't got this, I could have just clicked upload files. My page would have opened, and then I can easily go down to one of the I can pick up anything. For example, I want to just pick up something which is there on my local computer. I click on the file, click as open. You see, on the left-hand side, a file is getting uploaded. Now it's uploaded and stored in the library. What I do is, if I want this particular file to be incorporated in my certificate, I just put a click. It comes on the main screen. Now I can extend it, I can drag it to any part, I can set it up. This is something which I can play around wherever I want to do it with my cursor. All right. So, but I don't want this. What I want really is to have the Toastmasters logo. So I click on the logo. I delete this because I don't want it. I just want the logo to come in place of that. Now, there are Now this certificate looks a bit washy, and this is not Toastmasters brand compliant. So what I do is, if you see, there are 5 different colors. The moment I click on the black color, ideally the black color is not accepted. It used to be one of the colors under brand compliance, but now it has changed. It has now the blue, the red, and the gray. Yellow is still acceptable, but I'll show you how you can do that. Just give me a moment. I think I just closed on to that. Okay, so let me help you understand of how things ideally would look like. So you have the brand compliance page, the library. Earlier in Toastmasters, what used to happen before the latest version came in, the brand manual used to come in the form of a PDF document. But recently, we got to have a different, abrased version of it, where everything, anything and everything is just in Toastmasters website itself. So if you see here, the 4 different colors, black is still there. Good that black is still there. You have the white, you have the true maroon, you have the royal blue, and you have the cool gray. There are the different 5 colors, but having said that, I want to make it slightly different. So what I would rather do is, I will use a mix of the blissful blue and the royal blue. So let me put it this way. I want to put the blissful blue in the certificate format. So remember, it has a code starting with a hash sign, hash 006094, hash 006094. Now what I will end up doing is, I'll quickly go through it and I'll help you to understand what needs to be done here. So if you can see here, the certificate is something that I'm showing you all over again. Now here, when the moment I click on the certificate, the color coding comes and there's a black sign. But if you look at try blue or hash in the search bar, on the search bar, what you do is put on the hash 006094. You see the blue, which was there in the brand compliant color, comes in. I think this is something which needs to be removed. Sorry, this is the one. Now, if you see, the background actually has got the blue color of what I had just mentioned on the search bar. So this is the way where you can actually go ahead and customize it. If you want to have any text replacement, you can either click on this. The moment you click on the font, you can change the colors, change the font. Remember, for Toastmasters brand compliance, the font that is normally used is Montserrat, because that is free. Apart from that, you can use Gotham. Gotham is of course paid, so something that you will have to take control of, because Gotham is something that is not really free and is easily downloadable. All you can do is you can use Arial, you can use Montserrat. Montserrat is free, that does not come with a license. And I'll show you exactly which are the fonts which are normally acceptable to Toastmasters brand compliance. Just give me a moment. I know it's bit of time which may require, but I just want everybody to be on the same page where we all understand of what needs to be done. So since I'm flipping the different compositions now and then, you will just be having a little bit of a trouble. See, now if you see here, the normal fonts that is being used are Gotham, but Gotham is not free. So what do? So if you see here, it is clearly mentioned, free alternate Montserrat. Why Montserrat is a free alternate? Because the font mostly resembles or has a face resemblance with Gotham. So if you compare apple to apple, it may not be a apple, it may be an orange and apple, but more or less it will be same. That is the only reason why it is shown free alternate Montserrat. The second one is Myriad Pro. Myriad Pro is the second font which is acceptable alongside Gotham. But Myriad Pro is also not available. So in that case, what is the free alternative? That is Source Sans. Source Sans 3. Source Sans 3 and Montserrat. Montserrat also comes with a few combinations. Montserrat Classic, Montserrat Semi-Bold, Montserrat Extra Bold. So whichever font you want to have out of Montserrat or Source Sans 3, you can use it. Source Sans 3 and Montserrat are something which you can have it installed in your PC alongside the Microsoft Word, which will actually enable you to use it in Canva. All right, so this is pretty simple. Now, the most important part which I wanted to really highlight is why this brand compliance is required. Now, considering, for example, if I see 26 members in this room, why would the rest of the 25 members come and attend my training if there's no proper branding being done? If there's no proper picturized and the proper write-up being kept to attract audience? Everybody knows that what is Canva, but why Canva and how it can be used and who is the person who is going to be explaining it? If that is not customized, if that is not designed in a way where the individual can make an impact, people wouldn't have come forward to attend this training. How many of you believe that? I'm sure most of them. Now, as I continue saying this, that branding is equally important. And you need to be the face of your branding curvatures that you prepare. I would request now to as many members who are attending this, who are listening to me or seeing to me, and also understanding the different versions of Canva, to please come on video, as Toastmaster Baron was doing it some time back, where he was unmuting everyone and requesting everyone to speak. I want everyone to see me, talk to me, because that's how exactly I would feel that would be a proper way where we can do brand ourselves. And as I continue saying this, Toastmaster Maggie, distinguished Toastmasters, just switch on the video to show that 100 years of Toastmasters International. Why Toastmasters doing that? That's branding, my friend. We are 100 years organization which is non-profitable. Let the entire world who doesn't even know this fact, that it's a 100-year non-profitable organization. Even being a non-profitable organization, we are not making profit, but we are helping individual to gain profit. And profit normally does not come every time with money. It also comes with your own self-development. 4 years ago, I stepped into this field of preparing something in the form of a flyer. But I started off with Microsoft presentation, PowerPoint presentation. But slowly and slowly, I moved into Canva. Canva is one such tool which actually helps every individual. And let me again reiterate, it helps every individual to become a pro. It's not just for beginners. It's not for just for toddlers or teenagers or anyone. Across all age groups, Canva can be used. If you really wish to prepare some of the flyers, some of the posters which are of great standards, Canva is one tool which will help you to rise. Most importantly, what you really need to understand is the font that you're using. Of course, if you wish to increase the font size and the type, it's your call. Font size is not something that becomes a concern when it comes to putting that in the form of a flyer. But the font type, which I talked about, is what? Gotham and Myriad Pro. Gotham and Myriad Pro. And what are the alternatives? I'm pretty sure that people all in this room would have heard. What are the alternatives to Gotham? Can anybody even unmute and say what is that alternative? Or you can even put the chat. You can use the chat window to mention it. Let me have some of the ideas.
Montserrat and Myriad Pro.
Okay, no, Montserrat is the alternative to Gotham, whereas Source Sans Pro 3 is an alternate to Myriad Pro. Montserrat and Source Sans comes free, and you can have all the different types of Montserrat fonts downloaded from Google free of cost, and you can get that installed into your Microsoft Office so that you can use it anywhere and everywhere. So remembering that. Now, every flyer that you prepare for your club meetings, what do you normally do? You put your Toastmasters club number, club name, the area, division, district. The details of the meetings, timing, the platform used, is it physical or it's on Zoom or on Teams, the timings, the date, the theme. But in addition, you do something else as well. What is that? You most of the time prepare a sweet, beautiful, or a handsome picture of the host or the TMOD. Why? Because people seeing, as we say, that seeing is believing. So if somebody is being seen in a flyer, then that belief of trusting that person to know more about the topic or the subject that one has to share becomes even more interesting. That is the reason whenever you are preparing any form of flyer, any form of presentation on Canva, make sure that you put the picture onto it. Now, I'll give you one live example of how I have been doing it. Just give me a moment. I'll show you some of the samples which I already have it. And that's something which will actually help you to understand how I have been doing it over these few years that I have been part of the system. Now, I'll give you a particular aspect of it, of how one can understand. So this was an open house which was being hosted. And I believe everybody can see this. Can somebody from the district PRM team confirm if this particular slide is visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Now, if you see, there's an open house. That's very, very legible for everyone who sees the flyer. It's an open house, the date, time, venue, location, the club name, the details of who needs to be contacted, and why are we conducting this? What would exactly it give benefit to the members who are going to come forward to know more about Toastmasters International? You see the flyer, the picture behind it has a Toastmaster background. So it's pretty professionally placed here. Now, when we had an anniversary meeting, we put one of the pictures behind, we put 15th anniversary. So this is particularly being highlighted. People can see right away, oh my goodness, 15th anniversary. And then on the right-hand side, you have the club name and other details. And as they went down, This is my personalized one, which I normally do for branding for my own self as a trainer, public speaker, soft skills trainer, or a coach. This is how I brand myself. And as I said, no particular limitations for yourself to brand yourself as a pro. Now, if you see, why did I say not just within Toastmasters, but beyond Toastmasters as well? The color that I've used here is slightly on the lighter green side, which means this is not Toastmasters International brand compliant. But this is my personal branding for my personal self. Hence, I have done this. Okay. So this is one of the ways of doing it. But let me do something which will actually help me to show you slightly more of what I've been doing. With the kind consideration of the VPPR team, I would intend to take about 5 or 10 minutes more, if that's allowable. Just give me another moment to share something which I intend to show you of how that there are a few other presentations and slides which I have done that. All right, give me a moment. Sharing screen has been a little bit of a challenge for me. Okay. Now I'll show you something more of something which I have done to prepare the executive committee. Now this is for one of the clubs, which is right now called as Magnetic Toastmasters Club. I'm pretty sure that members of District 114 and who are based in Kenya are pretty aware of this club. Earlier, the club was Kikuyu Town Toastmasters, and now it is Magnetic. Some of the members here are well known and who might be known to everyone. This is one which I had prepared some time back, almost, I think, a couple of years ago. Now, this is one more executive committee flyer. Now, this is completely brand compliant. If you are putting in pictures, it is, if you see the synchronization of how well it has gone, I'm not really saying this that this is one of the perfect flyers on board, but this actually helped me get the best PR flyer of the year. How did I do so? Is of a different combinations. So there were different clubs. This is one of the clubs for South Africa of District 74. This was a complete washout of the one which I showed above. So if you see, everything is black and white. Slightly to create, this is more of a vintage look that if you could all see, but this come out really well and it's being appreciated. So these are some of the flyers that I prepared. Now, these are some of the certificates. Certificates also something that you can always prepare with brand compliance. It's not that difficult to prepare one. As I said, I showed you the template. You can customize it, go to a particular. Now, if I have to change the color, I can actually do this. Click on the blue color here on the main page. There's a see if there's an icon which has come here. Click on this background color, choose the gray, and automatically the background behind it changes. You want to change the inside color of it, you can still do that. You see, there are 3 different colors, the blue, white, and so instead of blue, what I click here and press the red. See, the color automatically changes. Right? So this is, and if I want to change the font, I can click here and instead of Manoj, which is Montserrat Extra Bold, I can actually click on this and change it to anything, Montserrat Classic. You see, the font completely changes. Okay. Now, apart from that, if you have more things, the best part of it is elements. click on elements, you see a lot of designs and shapes on here. If you want to have any line, you can create a line. If you want to have any shapes, you can click on shapes, see all. Click on see all. You have lines, you have different shapes. For example, if I click on this, there's a different shape which has come up. Now, this is the shape that I want to avoid. I want to have a round color shape. This is what it is. It's a dark gray. So instead of using a dark gray, I want to convert that into white. I click on this and then go onto the color and then press on white. See, automatically it changes. Now, if I want to change the name of this particular file, which is automatically being created, this is a file that I open, go above and see Art Deco Appreciation Certificate. Instead of this, I can just keep Appreciation Certificate. The name automatically changes. Go up. If you see the box will open, click on this, and then automatically you can change the name, edit it as per your requirements. Now, when I was talking about this presentation, I did mention that is Canva free for all of us. Then let me tell you, it is free. It has a pro version and it has a Teams version. If you want to prepare, if you want to make your hands dirty with your presentation skills, use the free version as many as you want, as much as you can. Because I have now prepared more than 1,000 flyers on Canva absolutely free. That has actually given me more confidence to play around with the different features that Canva has. Now, what are the applications of Canva? I'll go to where all Canva can be used. It can be used for your marketing, branding. If you are a student and you want to prepare some of these slides for your presentation in college or in university, then for educational also it can be used. For personal interest, you are an entrepreneur, you are a freelancer, or you are someone who wants to do a lot of branding for your own business or on your product sales that you want to do. So that's a personal interest. You can use Canva to prepare something which will attract and draw the attention of the consumers and all the people who want to do business with you. That's the personal interest. Now, Canva and Toastmasters. Why do I mention this as a perfect combo? Is because of one particular aspect to look at it. Because in Toastmasters, you can use whatever you like. There are people who use Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. There are people who use there are people who also use Canva, and there are people who use InDesign tool. But InDesign tool is not that user friendly. PowerPoint is not having enough features which Canva will provide, and that is the reason Canva is the most you can say star rated design app that not just Toastmasters but a lot of people across the globe use it. I'm sure that everybody in this room have some idea, some concept about Canva as a tool. I've showed you some of the important elements of how to navigate and use it. I'm sure that everybody has been doing that over a lot of times that you have been taking up the role of VPPR or even been an associate to VPPR. This is never a difficult thing, an aspect to look into it. Canva is one design tool, let me again tell you, is very much user friendly. You can just go to it and just play around with anything and everything, and things will not get lost. You can prepare, you can understand, and how important, one important element which I would like to share with you here is, just give me a moment. Just for the final time, I'll share the screen here. Now, you see that I have already prepared all this. Now, what you need to do is, suppose if I like this particular slide, and I need to share now. So if you see here, this is page number 3. So how do I download it? You see here something as a share option. You click on the share, go down Click on the download button. You see what is the file type. So I will always choose onto PNG as a file type. Okay, because the background, everything comes clean. So I click on PNG suggested as it is. I only want to download page number 3. This why it is mentioned all pages, because this is a series of many presentations for under one file which has been created. That's the reason it's showing all pages, but I don't require all the pages to be downloaded. I just want page number 3. So what I do is I click here, as you see, 1 to 23. So I don't require all the slides. I only require 3. Then I click on done. Then I click on download. Now see, the particular page is getting downloaded. Let's see, the file has already got downloaded now. So this is how it is done. What you do have to do is go to share, go to downloads, click on this one as PNG suggested, go to pages, all pages, whichever pages you need, you click on here on that button and write 3, 4, or 5, then click on the download button. And that's how your download of the particular file gets done. So this has been a small 30-minute or training, rather sharing of information and knowledge from my side. I'm pretty sure this is just not a small river. It is a wide ocean or the wide gamut of learning through which you can get to understand through Canva. I could have extended my session, but then I can go on for hours and hours, but still there will be a lot of things which will still remain pending for the learning curve that you all can do. So I would request everyone to at least go through Canva and start using it if you have not started yet. And if you're using Canva, I'm very sure that you would certainly be pros and ardent PRs in your own way, in your own capacity. Just learn this art and continue practicing, continue preparing slides and presentations. If at all you feel that there is a need to understand a little more about this, you can always reach out to me on a personal chat. Toastmaster Baron would be sharing my contacts, and you can always reach out to me. We can discuss one-to-one to understand more about the different features that Canva has in store for all of us. Until then, I keep this floor open for any Q&A, any questions that anybody has for me. And accordingly, I would love to answer to those questions. I'll keep the floor open. But until then, I would like to give the virtual dais back to the host of today's meeting, Toastmaster Carol.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, TM Roy. I think we can give him a hand of an applause or a thank you on the chat. Thank you so much, TM Roy, for this insightful session. And I've learned quite a lot. And I believe many others have learned a lot. And so I don't know if there's any comment, anyone would like to comment on anything, perhaps what they have learned today on this session. And TM Baron has posted the brand guidelines on the chat, which is also part of the discussion on Canva. So please do download it before the meeting ends, and we shall be able to continue with any comment that anyone would have today before we close this session. And thank you so much, TM Roy, for sharing your contacts. And we could be able to take a comment. Anyone from the team would like to maybe make, if there's something that you've learned, you can make a comment at this point before we close. Or any clarification you may need. All right, so even as we wait for that, I'd like to ask Thierry Terence to share the certificate of appreciation for our speaker tonight for taking his time to speak to us. So TM Terence, you can share the certificate. And I can see on the chat, we have Division Director Maggie, who says, DTM Roy, thank you for this insightful session. Yes, indeed, it's been quite insightful. So we have VPM Asimwe, who's saying, very insightful. Thank you for sparing time to empower us. Thank you so much for those two comments. And as we wait for TM Terence to share on the chat, thank you so much, TM Roy. Thank you for these great insights. And we believe you'll also come once again in this forum. We look forward to seeing you again with other insights. And thank you so much for this session. And we look forward to many more. And maybe I could give you a chance to make a closing remark, and then we can just wait for TM Terence once he's ready with the certificate. TM Roy, is there a party shot for tonight?
Yeah, I just wanted to just convey my heartfelt gratitude to all the members who showed up for this particular training. As I said, this is actually a vast area where everybody gets to learn, and even 1 hour of training or 1 hour of knowledge sharing is just not enough, because nobody actually went on to teach me of how Canva has to be used. I just put my hands dirty on it. I went through the website, navigated it, started creating my own flyers, and today one of my flyers that I prepare are considered to be best because people appreciate it. If I go back to my initial flyers, they're just very normal. Nobody would ever even look at it and say, oh, wow. But now it's different because it's just about a stepping stone. So what I mean to say is not about praising all for myself, but it's just about transformation. So be it Canva or be it your own branding that you do, it's all about transformation. You don't grow at the very first initial phases, but you grow with time and experience and learnings. So if you are into brand compliance, if you are into branding and promotion, Canva is a very good tool, and it's a very simple and a very user-friendly tool. Use it as much as you can, prepare as many flyers, posters as you can, see where you stand, have a mirror image, look into it, have feedback, and then I'm very sure that there will be a time wherein you will become the experts of preparing good brand compliant flyers.
Thank you so much, DTM Roy. Thank you very much for that. We really appreciate that. And so I don't know whether TM Terence is ready for the certificate, with the certificate of appreciation to put it up on the screen so that we can thank our speaker for today. And once again, he's put in his contact on the chat, and you can be able to get in touch with him if you have any further questions beyond today. And so I'd like to maybe hand over the session back to our SAA today. And thank you for the great comments on the chat. And I'd just like us to, thank you, TM Baron, for that. Thank you for the certificate, which is on the chat. And so I'd like to hand it over back to TM Baron and welcome you again to our next session for our VPPR training, which will be next month. And we look forward to many more engagements. Thank you so much. And over to you, TM Baron. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for carrying the day, Toastmaster Carol. And thank you to our indelible, our highly esteemed trainer. I could not have explained Canva the way you did. I could not have, especially with how you prepared it and how you did. DTM Roy will truly appreciate you. And as a district, we know that we are better for having engaged with you this evening. I'm very certain we shall continue to engage further on that note. I am not sure if Toastmaster Terence is still there, but I'll call on him to say the closing remarks. But before that, I just want to announce that we will have our next session on 25th March, which will be a Monday as well. And that is the week that borders to Easter. So that week before Easter. That's 25th March once again, and we intend to dive into Canva more because today was for essentials and brand compliance. So now we need to get into the tools as well and get to play with them. As DTM Roy said, it is a vast topic and our learning has to be incremental. We can't learn everything in one day. And that's why we have to do that. But before that day reaches, I call upon all of us to play with Canva as much as possible. I say play because that's what it requires. It needs a lot of time. And if you do not consider it to be play and you take it extremely serious, you will get frustrated. So play with it as much as possible. Try a lot of tools, try a lot of designs, recreate some of the posters that you have seen out there. And that is how you become a pro at it. And while at that, also let's remember that we create these posters, but they are of no use if they stay in our galleries. And they're also of no use if we do not spread them as far and wide as possible. So we have to make sure that we spread them and the word goes out. Without further ado, I appreciate everybody who has joined in today. I am delighted. This is a high performance project for all of us. And while we might not have given it the due credit, we call upon anybody who would like to take it on as a high performance project organizing this. We shall step back, support you, and give you the platform to organize the entire session as part of your high performance project. And Toastmaster Carol, this is to you as well. Please take it on as your high performance project. And this is really where Toastmasters learning and the tagline of where leaders are made come into play. Toastmaster Terence, could you shout from the rooftop you're sitting on that you're around?
Yes, I'm around.
All right,
I've experienced what you experienced a short time ago.
Sorry, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Byron, and thank you, Roy, for that elaborate presentation into Canva. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate all the work that went into making this a success. Now, in the interest of time, I would like to bring this meeting to a close, but before I do that, I would just welcome any comments, any questions, any suggestions before we do that. In the next minute. I'm so happy that we are still out of the about 32 or 33 we were at some point. 17 are still online, and I really appreciate that. That's a good sign. It tells me that the presentation was really timely and we really needed it. And even sticking to this time tells me that we still need to engage. So I encourage all of us as VPPRs and in different roles, if you're a Toastmaster, please stay within the VPPR group. We'll be sharing more updates on that group. And apart from that, I also encourage us just as VPPRs to create teams. We have a team for the district. We have, yes, we collaborate on Canva. I encourage those who are in different areas, you can try and create the groups. We can continue this engagement on WhatsApp in the interest of time. Otherwise, I really appreciate the time that has been taken, the effort, and all the resources that have gone into making this a success. I thank you for your time and do have a lovely evening. Thank you for joining us.
We see Toastmaster Benter raising her hand.
Yes,
Okay,
did I miss the point where you shared information on how we communicate as a group? Is there a WhatsApp group, and do you have my number to add me there?
Yes, Benta, I have your number.
Perfect.
We normally communicate on the district VPPR group. Are you a member of that group? If you
I
are,
don't think so. I'm very
okay,
new.
I will. Okay. you can, do you have Baron's number? You can reach out to him right now and he can make arrangements to add you.
Okay, let me just share with him. Thanks.
All right, you're most welcome. Any other question? I'm sorry, I'm using a device where I'm no longer the host, therefore I can't see the raised hands. So in case there is any hand that is still raised, we can address that.
I think we are good so far.
Thank you, Baron. Baron, with the powers bestowed upon you, I believe you can stop the recording if it hasn't been stopped.
That is, oh wow, the co-host, the host co-host is Toastmaster Roy. Toastmaster wears many hats, so Toastmaster Roy, please assist to end the recording and then we can adjourn.